So, our brave heroes now have traveled. And you finally come to towering gates and towers. A vast wall made out of a mixture of stone and violet crystal stands before you. Highlighted by the swarming whirlwind of the violet sky. You can see currently the main gate stands open with some guards looking out. There are undead citizens going to and fro, mostly in large caravans, in wagons that either are empty going out or filled with crystal or wood or various resources coming in. You can see on top of the walls there are vast ballista, themselves glowing violet, trained on the fields around. People with watch glasses seem to be looking out to see, and high above you can see skeletal dragons ridden by undead warriors in the skies, keeping watch as well. All around the city, it does seem to be a moat of the sickening black sludge that a drawbridge to the city seems to cross. What would you like to do?
Doesn't seem very inviting.
No, it does not. I'll make sure my sword's put away.
I think I like this place.
It's beautiful. I mean, wow, it's something.
It is something.
And these skeleton dragons, do they look anything like is it Vorgol?
The ones you see flying above do not. Though you can, they're somewhat smaller, and just have a different vibe to them, I would say.
Okay. So not like liches like Vorgol was.
It does not appear to be.
So, what's the plan for when we get in the city? Shopping?
Shopping for real estate, yes.
And we're walking there, and we're gonna say, "Who knows Azrael?"
I know Azrael.
Who else knows Azrael?
I think everyone here knows Azrael.
Wouldn't it be better if we were to go into town and try to find out if he has a place here or had a place here at some point?
I mean, I imagine we just look for the castle, governor's mansion, wherever the leaders stayed in the city when it was normal.
That would make sense, but for us to enter, I think we should look like we belong and definitely not like ourselves.
You want me to do a seeming?
Let me check. I do not have seeming today, so
Yeah, I could do that. Now let me will cast seeming and make everybody look however they want undead version.
Alanthor does not partake in the seeming. He will make it
Duh.
he does not want to. Yeah,
I don't put it on you.
right. I'm just clarifying.
No, Alanthor, I'm gonna make you look more undead.
All right.
Same with Buddy. Come here.
Let's make
For some
some.
reason, there's just more eyeliner.
Shiny's coloring just turns to like pale blue and purple and
Morris takes care of the physical features. He just asks for like the clothes to his armor to look more just like tattered clothes.
I take on the spring eladrin, but burnt and kind of charred, like I was burned alive in a previous life.
for some reason I feel like I want to vape.
All the cool kids are doing it.
yeah, Laren will look like any normal citizen we see here.
Oh, Laren, you look so different.
Elumia's going all out. She looks like a lich. She's missing one eye, and she's missing one hand. But it's the opposite hand and eye that should be.
Oh, then I go for a two-face look. One half. Cut down the middle.
Very nice. I think Thorana basically gives herself pure skeleton vibe. Though adorned with her definitely not the Raven Queen accoutrement. As you approach, and you can see an individual begins to approach. In a way, he sees all of you coming without anything you're bringing into the city, clad in blackened steel armor, accented in red. They wear these strange marks upon their tower shield. The axe that they just carry on their back crackles with red energy, and blood red eyes peer out from their helmet as they gaze. Look at all of you. And then rest upon Alanthor and kind of freeze for a moment.
Yup, I'm here. I need to see Azrael.
I know nothing of where he may be, but I will not impede your way.
You won't impede my companion's way either.
No.
Right.
And you were able to come in. And as you do, the streets here that are just filled with partially decayed or reanimated folks. Some looks like they've been stitched together from several people. Little the streets and all kind of pause and stop and look at Alanthor making this strange type of aisle through the main street.
Elanthor looks like he just rubs the back of his neck, but he pulls the hood up on his cloak, and his face disappears into shadow.
Atlanta, are you kind of famous here?
You could say that.
Why?
I imagine he's one of the first people they meet whenever they rise.
Yeah, that. Let's go. And Elanthor would just start guiding the Rosguard through this aisle of people.
Shiny, as we go through, Shiny like bows at a couple people. Nice to meet you. Hi. Thank you. Hi. Nice to meet you.
Just all stare as you go through.
Does Elanthor know if Azrael's picked a place to settle down in Zadash since he left?
You really have no idea as far as
Yeah.
his general whereabouts here, or if he's even here.
Mhm.
Not sure exactly what has come of that. Again, he doesn't. You've all been it's kind of business, not talking about most of those things.
Mhm.
Is there like a palace or a castle in Zadash?
Looking, you can see there are several towers that rise high. Some with fires of blue, green, pink, and violet. And soaring from one of the blue ones, you see this figure there with outstretched wings. Black horns curved around their head, their eyes almost lit with blue fire, but otherwise with no eyeballs. She glides effortlessly down and lands. Ah, the rumors are true. You have come. Father of all.
Is Azrael here?
Oh. You seek the living wizard?
Yes. I have things I need to discuss with him.
I see. I am not aware if he is here or not. Father of all. I apologize. I'm I was just excited by your coming. I am Estilius. I don't believe I had a name when I met you first. Confessor Estilius. And I would be most grateful to house you if you so desire during your stay here.
Just gonna look towards the rest of the group and in the group chat to say, do you guys want to stay here? I mean, it's up to you. I got you here.
Can I take a look at his body language and general demeanor to see, like, is this guy, like, going to try to eat us or something?
It's she, but yeah, she.
Oh,
You
she.
can go and give me a. Yeah, my throat's not doing good on different voices today. Go ahead and do a insight check.
26.
6. She floats. You could tell that Estilius is doing many machinations in her head. You get the feeling that she definitively has a plan, wanting to use this for something that would benefit her. But you don't get any malice outright. At most, the 26 you get as though she wouldn't much care if anything happened to any of you.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like everybody we meet, so, yeah. Shiny just shrugs, looks at Lantern and shrugs.
Maybe she can tell us about the city and who's in charge if Azrael's not the one that leads it here every day.
Yeah. All right. That will be. Yeah, sure, Confessor. Yeah, we'd appreciate that. Sorry, I'm not good with formality, but thank you.
So what do you say? Sorry, missed it.
Just yeah, sure. We'd appreciate if you housed us while we're here on our stay. I'm not good with formality, but thank you.
She looks to all and says, "Let it be known that the Father of all will stay in the Tower of Atonement." Many nod, and you see many of the folks here kind of tremble and almost scared to meet her in the eye. As she turns, the kind of the aisle that is formed immediately parts. As she uses her wings to float through the streets, not quite touching them. Leading you all to the tower with the blue flame.
How many other towers do we see in the city, or is it not clear?
About 4 others.
Okay.
Oh, this must be like the prettiest tower I've ever seen.
Laren, I think yours should go right there and be 10 times bigger.
But it seems like they all have a name, so what are you going to name yours?
I really appreciate how you think ahead of ourselves, Naimumia.
So, are you all hanging back out of the reach of out of the earshot of a? Oh, you have your Mento thing. That's right. I was like, what are you doing? That's right. You got your private chat. Go ahead.
Shiny will say out loud, "Wow, this is the prettiest tower I've ever seen."
Yeah.
And I've seen 3 towers.
She goes, "Oh, well, thank you. It does what it can so that all can know truth, purity.
What are the other towers?
Oh. Well. Oh, they keep to their own, but the one with you see there with the flames of pink, those are what is known as the Krendian. They are the rulers here. At least of the mundane.
How many of them are there?
The rulers of the members of the Krendian.
Yes.
Because I'm not sure. It's the burdening faction, one of the first.
Well, what makes them in charge?
She smiles. Suppose they were the first to bring a type of order.
Yeah.
She kind of motions over to the green flame. As she'll say, those are the Malay. Theirs is an interesting story. I believe they would be the only ones to not know the father of all. They rose from the city itself. See, at one time there was the living had bases beneath the city. They practiced the power of nature, druids by trade.
Oh,
And they boldly fought against what the land was becoming. Over the course of time, of course, they fell, they were found, they were thieves and murderers, and succumbed, were either killed or died out. And from them rose from the sewers in which we dumped their bodies, with a connection to the Deadlands that none of us could match. There was a bit of drama, you might say, at the beginning anyway, before they became so powerful as to command attention in the tower. But here I am giving a history lesson, and of course, ours is.
You left out a tower. So there was 4. You mentioned 3. You own 1, and you mentioned the other 2.
Yes.
Who's that one?
She kind of gives a little nod. That is the sealed. We mostly do without it.
How did the seals stay in there without any water nearby?
Give me a deception check, because that sounds something like a living person might say.
Uh-oh. That is a dirty 20. Oh, wait, I have advantage. Did not help.
All right, dirty 20. All right. She pauses. She looks at you. Interesting. Tell me, where do you hail from?
Oh, I woke up in the ground over by in his head in the through the group chat. He's going, "Where were we? Where were we? Where were we? Where were we just there?"
Elderwin, I think, where the dragon is.
Felderwin. I think that's what that place is called, Felderwin. But I had to get out of there pretty quickly because I was very confused, and then the father of us all found me.
And a celestial being, a dragon, broke through our defenses and tried to lay waste to Felderwin and the risen ground. So we stopped it.
I see.
In fact, I even got the killing blow. Or unkilling blow.
Killing.
Double
It was
killing.
alive. It wasn't dead.
Why don't you give me another deception check?
Everything Elanthor said was true.
Can you use the knowledge of the past life?
Got it.
That brings it to a 22.
22. Oof. That is your DC to lie to her. See. Huh. Very well. So you are very new then. Newer than usually comes here. May I ask why you have brought them? Father of all.
Tried to leave them back in Felderwin, but they just wanted to stick with me.
Interesting.
I mean, we also helped you save Felderwin.
That too.
In the group chat. And we want to beat the shit out of Azrael.
Huh. Okay. She looks upon all of you. And then turns and begins to fly. Goes, at any rate, the sealed, we assume there are members of them among, and they mostly stay quiet, though occasionally they will make their opinions known here. But she goes, they also create most of the stitch folk that you will see around. giving new life to those who have fallen, in a manner of speaking.
So if you
May I? Oh, go for it.
if you put two halves of a brain together, is it like two personalities fighting, or
Of course. It's many theories have gone out about that, actually. We generally assume that they find some type of catharsis of coexistence among themselves. Get some identity. Some still refer to themselves as we. Others develop into an I. It really varies from thing to thing.
I noticed you have some very beautiful flying danzins in the sky. Do they happen to come from a mother, or are they also made from bones, the leftovers?
Ah, yes. The brood. You will see their mother occasionally, or father, or but schedule would
Is
be
that
their name.
their name?
Yes.
Are they one of the rulers of this city?
Schedule rulers. She kind of closes her eyes for a moment, as if she's and begins talking as though she's reciting. Escagel was the first. All who are here came after. The father of all, then Escagel, then us. Thus he washes over the ghoulish dominion. Mostly lets us do what we will. Protects us, especially against the living, who honestly rarely make it beyond our borders. It was more, as I told you the time before, where there were refugees. Of course, y'all don't know. It said, well, he heard the stories first from Father Ra himself, but that this land once was that of the living. When it became our realm, there were people who hid and found places to scratch out existences. But they're all gone now.
Everyone that was from this here didn't make it out.
Well, except the living mage. And occasionally they will bring their pieces. And then there was the Fey Maiden at one time.
The what now?
The Fey Maiden, the consort, lover of the living mage. And of course, their children. They are said to reside in the fifth, but there is no fifth, of course. But she speaks to Ilantho a little bit. I am eager to show you something I've been working on of my own creations in life. I call them the Whisperborn. And at this
Okay.
point, you reach the tower, and it opens, and you see an array of various individuals, all with their chest hollow, with blue flames that reside in them. I've gone through the trouble of creating them to follow your example, Father of all. They're not quite recognized in the streets, so they mostly stay here. It's been my contribution to the peace of the city.
What does recognized mean?
Well, you can tell she's really answering these questions because of the landlord being here. She goes, recognize being treated equally, I guess you could say. I assure you they are fully developed, but it's really the shame of their creation that I think keeps people from accepting them. So,
So they didn't wake up like everybody else?
no. You see, there was a time when mostly the Krendian, I would say, were in charge. Everything was about, I guess you could say, gossip, what you knew about another. People traded in secrets and shame and such things. And everyone had to keep these secrets. People would report to their neighbors or on them, and it was often, I guess you could say, our society was made up of betrayal. And then this seemed to be untenable. I was a member of the Krendian at the time. And so I began the process of relieving people of their secrets. Discovered the power that resides in such things. So everyone you see is, well, they're a secret. Spoken in confession. Given life. And meaning and purpose. They are the perfect ones. And ensure the secret will forever be kept.
That's just such brilliant and incredible design. Did you just think of that one day?
And one day, many years, centuries.
But on your own.
Pardon me.
What do you think about it, Thrana?
Thrana. Interesting. Would you say they have souls? Oh, I would suspect so. Huh. Life creation. And then, sorry. Here, Stilius will turn to Alanthor. Goes, so what do you think? You were the ones that guided us into life, and I've kind of always thought of myself as the one who guided us into peace. Given your example,
I don't think I'm the best example to live by, but if they're for keeping peace, making sure that our people are safe, I could get used to it. They could be useful. As long as they just don't wander.
yes.
As long as they don't just leave. As long as they don't.
I hope one day that they can have lives. That people, well, wouldn't view them as mistakes, but just as what they are.
Do people view the Stitchborn the same way?
Oh, no. This forms are mostly accepted.
I guess they were risen and not whole, and then made more whole.
It's mostly just because everyone knows that any one of these could be something that they would rather not anyone know.
Gotcha.
So I think they just put that on to every single one they meet. But they all now serve as confessors under me, and occasionally, to keep the peace, confession is sought. Or confession seeks, of course.
What can they do?
Oh, just about anything. They're not different than you or I, Father of all. Then I must do all of you give your names to this person. You've already said Threnna.
If she asked, yes.
She genuinely is trying to do introductions.
Yeah, I'll tell her my name. I don't see any issue with that.
You can call me Mia.
And Rin.
You can call me Dolus.
Dolus. Huh. Why? She kind of looks at you confused because she knows your name. She's like, okay.
Oh, that was Mars saying Dolus?
Oh, Mars.
Yeah, because Mars is still here.
Yeah. Well, then I'll see you to your rooms. And please make yourselves at home. And let me know if you need anything. She opens a door. You can see a stone laid room that has essentially storage cases, places to keep things, writing desks, but no beds. You realize most of the denizens here likely don't sleep. But she says this could be your place of refuge where you can take solace and relaxation as you need be. Meditations. And it's always a good time to be able to know that, well, whatever you say is safe. Is there anything else you require of me?
How come the fifth tower was never made?
Well, the rumors are it was, but it hides. Some call it the Hidden Tower.
I knew it. I said it on the link, not out loud.
There was a mansion where the living maids, the Fey Maiden, his consort, and their children stayed. Then it is said, I was not risen at this point, but it is said that a group came to kill him, kill the family. After that, they were occasionally seen in the city, and are to this day. Though the Fey Maiden has not been in quite some time. But no one knows from where they come when they see them. And those who agree to be part of their service are never seen. Is there anything else?
Do you have a library?
Of course, we do have some limited texts here. Some history, and of course, you're free to use the library as you wish.
Thank you. And then we'll just head to the library.
There's nothing else then. Professor Stelius leaves you. She flies away. What's everyone doing?
Well, I am going to the library to try to see if, from the books that are in there, if I can find at least a decent location of where this tower might be. I know that magic's probably going to have to help me down to locate it further down the road, but at least a start.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
I'm feeling lucky. So that's going to be a 30.
Nice. 30. So taking the contents of the library, you do find the different instances of people coming into describing what you would recognize as Azrael making appearances. And start to pinpoint a place called the Candles, at least what it was used to be called. But they all seem to have people there originally. Where a lot of them are first seen. So you'd figure out somewhere in that area.
After my
many records. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, after my hours of doing that, Naomi will finally return to the group. So, have you all just been staring at each other while I was in the library? And it's pretty dead-like, so it makes sense.
What do you want to do?
Is there a window in this room?
Yes.
Could Laren be looking out the window? Because she's seen 4 towers and there's potentially a 5th, all with strange colored flames. And she knows that Azrael is trying to do something strangely arcane, potentially in the area. So can she try to, like... I don't know. Maybe she will need to go to the towers to actually make sure or investigate, but just from this, can she try to figure whether this might be the case?
So you're just trying to figure out what exactly? Like, trying to feel for another tower?
No, like, she's not looking for the other tower. She's more like thinking whether Azrael could be using these towers for something. Like
yes.
Getting ready for the ritual or whatnot.
Totally got you, yeah. I think studying them and their location and such things. Go ahead. Give me an Arcana check.
Is this from Dark Magic?
Yes.
Can I cast guidance on her?
Sure.
There you go.
With guidance, that's 32.
Nice. Starting out with the various flames above and locations here. And it did not, we all know, escape Laren's attention. The idea of Whisperborn and secrets and these types of things. You start to get the sense here that you have these life created from these supposed secrets. There's this corrupted magic of creation from the Milia. There's the sealed itself. And then the rulership. And the general layout of the city itself. You feel, as you concentrate on these factors, the movement of energies of the weave. The practices of these kind of somewhat strange ideologies. The thought of them. And looking out among the entire city, you almost get the sense that this is a humongous spell circle. Especially with the changes made over time in the towers themselves. Made very slowly but deliberately. You begin to very much doubt that any of the philosophies that you heard of, given their arcane potential, were here by accident or came about naturally.
Are we alone in this room with Alanthor?
Yes.
So, Alanthor, I don't think you told us, or if you did, I got distracted and I forgot. How did the Deadlands get created?
I wasn't really present for that. But from what I picked up, I died again. And while I was dead, something just started growing from, where all the dead were.
You think your death caused it?
That, and the night before I died again, but Azrael brought me back. And he used some weird ritual that took the life of 2 Crown's Guard that he then funneled into my body.
And
So
I'm good.
no, you go.
And so that's why all these people think of you as like their grandpappy, because your rebirth, your second rebirth caused third rebirth caused the Deadlands, or potentially something for the Deadlands to be created.
Possibly. You also, I don't know if you've heard, I had other folk call me a Death Watcher, the Death Watcher, Death Watcher. What I've been doing for as long as the Deadlands have been a thing, for as long as I've been back the 4th time, I've been making sure that all the peoples who rise up from the grounds of the Deadlands stay safe, find safe shelter. If they decide to come together and start their own community within, I'll stick around until I feel like they're good on their own.
Why? Sounds like you feel responsible for them.
Sure.
You could go somewhere else, right? You're not stuck here.
I did go somewhere else. I went wherever I could have gone. I left Zadash. This is the first time I've been back to Zadash since Azrael and I kind of stabilized it.
How did you die the third time? The last time.
The last time was a public execution. He's going to guide Warden over to the window and point out in one direction. I don't know if it's still there, but he says over in that direction there used to be a structure called the Victory Pit. Big communal gathering place. I was arrested for the deaths of those 2 Crown's Guard that Azrael used to bring me back, and they didn't care that I claimed my innocence. They still relieved me of my head.
Does he have a Shiny's gonna kind of not inconspicuously try to see if there's like, is his head sewn back on? Like, what's going on there? Is there stitch marks?
He'll see you coming and just kind of like raise his hand and then pull his hair to the side. There is a thick scar that just wraps around his neck, like the center of his neck. But also towards the base of the skull, there is another scar that looks like a puncture wound that is just kind of festered and scabbed over. And then he pulls his hair back.
Do you think if you died again that this would all go away?
I think if I died again, nothing else would change. I'd probably just come back again.
But Shiny's gonna look over to Threnna and Warden. I mean, that sounds like a pretty gnarly ritual to bring somebody back to life by killing 2 people. But I mean, I'm not an arcane magic user, but or a holy magic user doesn't really seem like that would be enough to poison entire land.
Well, I don't know of any holy magic that does that. I feel like, I mean, any resurrection's necromantic, but
See, this
That
wasn't the first
seemed-
time he's done something like this.
was he a cleric before?
No. As long as I know him, he's been a mage, wizard, like those 2, pointing to Laren and Nylumia.
Wait, so he resurrected people by killing 2 other people before?
No. When we were on our way to Zadash the first time, I forget the circumstance, but he used some sort of necromantic power, and the death, for the time being, spread out from that spot where the magic landed. It subsided eventually. But that energy grew from the spot.
What did it do?
Pulled up a few skeletons, pulled up a dog. We had a dog for a little bit before it went back to being dead.
Did he ever talk about how he learned to do that?
Nope.
Do you know exactly when that was?
I'm gonna say this above table as Aiden. I don't know how long Atlanta thinks things have been spaced apart in here in the Deadlands. So I'm gonna say that above table. So now he's gonna say, I don't know.
Do you know where the spot was where it happened?
On what used to be known as the Bromkiln Byway, heading from Diastock towards the Dash.
Oh, so we're not there. Okay. Well, then that changes that. I do have a question since you're the father of all and that our new friend seems very inclined to do whatever you ask. Would you be able to find out exactly when that tower might have disappeared?
I could try to.
That would be grateful. Because if you can, I might know some magic that might be allow some of us to go back to that day and see what happened.
Okay.
So, the Deadlands were created. So, do you know where the Deadlands started spreading the second time? Where the magic started spreading the second time when you were resurrected for the last time?
The cemetery I was buried in, right here in Zadash.
Was he there when he resurrected you that second time also?
Azrael's the one who brought me back the second time.
But I mean, you woke up and like he was right there, so like you would know the exact spot and that date maybe?
So, just to refresh, I've died 3 or 4 times.
Well, join the club.
So, the second time was when I got blown up a few blocks from here. And Azrael took 2 souls and put them into my body. Number 3 was the execution. And I don't really remember it's all kind of a blur afterwards. There was Azrael, Amnon, McRae.
Oh, Amnon would know the exact date. Damn it.
He probably would, I guess.
In the groups chat, everybody's gonna hear that's a very dilemma because we could learn exactly what Azrael did that day. But we would have to cue Amnon in on what's going on.
Didn't we kill him?
No, we killed Azrael.
All right.
Amnon's the one that works for the dynasty. He's my mentor.
Mars is gonna chime in. And I don't really think that telling Amnon that we know of his connection to Azrael, the really weird connection to Azrael, would actually benefit us.
I don't think we'd have to tell him that because he knows that we technically know about what happened here in the Deadlands. And so it would be mainly trying to figure out when it happened.
Well, you could just ask when the Deadlands was created.
You think it's okay to try?
And we all know it was like 5 years ago when it started.
Yeah, but I need the exact date. This can't just be like 5 years ago. I'm going to go back because about 5 years ago that would be the day, and who knows what happened. So okay, now Lumia does the sending to Amnon, I guess, or tries to. We haven't tried to send out of here yet, so this will be interesting.
Yeah.
Amnon.
Yeah, as you cast the sending spell, you feel immediate disruption to magic. And you feel the spell kind of fail.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. There's no outside communication in the Deadland.
So sorry, I just want to make sure I had the timeline right. So the Deadlands started spreading after Azrael did the ritual that put the two souls in you, or after you were beheaded?
The Deadland started spreading after I was beheaded.
Okay. Because you were buried in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Were you buried the first time? Or were you buried the time that he resurrected you with the two souls? Were you buried then too?
No. Unless you count in rubble, then no.
No, that doesn't usually count.
Yep.
And what's up with this Fey maiden?
McRae?
Yeah.
Yeah, Luke, she was Faye. That's kind of my fault. I'll take blame for that one.
Well, who was she?
We went over this. She was the one that I rescued from the Shadowfell because I saw her running when me and Stabilna were hanging out next to, the border kind of. And, well, not really the border. We were just hanging out one day and this, mist came up and we heard Lucre reaching out for help and I kind of decided to help her out. And that's also what created the problem with the Shadowfell.
Yeah, and then she became a Rosgard problem when we first went to Nicodranus and she was turning goblins into makeup.
She was doing what?
She was turning specifically Fey goblins into makeup and selling that makeup in Nicodranus.
Well, that's one way to make a compact.
I was possibly able to learn where there might have been the location of the tower while studying in the library. If we want to go check out that in a while.
I think it's the only real lead we have.
Laren, you've been staring out the window a while. What are you looking at?
This is incredible spell work. Come here, Nylumia.
Melania flies over and looks over your shoulder.
Have you ever seen anything like this? Entire city fueling one thing.
That's what he's doing.
I thought it sounded familiar, finding powers and secrets. But these people, I don't think they even realize what they're doing is not of their own will.
What is generating the power?
The secrets.
Everything. Their philosophy, their ideology, everything they believe themselves to believe in.
That's how you make a god.
Well, I mean, so the way they've been talking about both Elanthor and Azrael, did they? To me, it seems like they have more reverence for Elanthor than Azrael. Is that the case?
It seems that way.
But I don't know. They seem to be kind of hero worshiping Elanthor more than Azrael. How does that fit into his plan?
That's even more brilliant. That is the brilliant part about his plans. No one thinks he's behind anything, but he is.
And if Azrael's as smart as he's come to realize who Anlanthor's patron is. That's why they're locked where they are. And he's also come to realize who could kill him and release the Deadlands and take him away. So it's kind of like making your friend your enemy your friend, keeping them close.
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. but always
Yes.
at arm's length.
Also, I think you might also be a ploy in his power plan.
You're probably right.
Because if he wants to gain this reverie for you to be called the father of all, and somehow he was able to twist things where he was able to gain that power, he would then be known as the father of all, would he not?
I think
Well,
he starts to reveal that he's the one who made Alanthor. Not made, but
well, he obviously also knows how to put souls into a body, so he could put his own soul in Elanthor's body. Elanthor, were you guys friends until like all the like in your mind, were you guys like still cool before we showed up?
We became more just business partners instead of friends, but yeah, we were still cool. We were pretty good friends beforehand. But no, we're not as close anymore.
I'm sorry about that.
It's all right. I honestly prefer the silence anyway.
but not
So
with
is he-
us, right?
So is he going to make Lucrea goddess too?
He can't do that. I mean, that he could try, but she's locked away by the things that Lot wants to take him away.
Oh.
So,
I can't keep all these people straight in my head.
but think about it. I mean, if we were to let like somehow get him back there, we would be just reuniting the two.
I think Azrael would be alone, just like Lucre is.
Probably. But that would just be so funny if like they were alone and like they could see each other, but never actually be together.
Oh, I would love that so much.
Wait, you just said you were cool with him before we showed up. What? Why do you
But
want to hurt him now?
I hate Lucre. I hated her. If she's still alive somewhere, I still hate her.
Why?
There once was a fey goblin named Terry, who I saved from being turned into makeup. She then tried to curse me with said makeup, and I got stuck in her house overnight and had to make another deal with the dark just so the Rosgard could sleep.
And where is she right now?
In the Shadowfell, right?
If what Nylumia was saying is true, then if the dark claimed her, then she's with the dark in her own little prison.
Why did the dark want her?
That's
Probably
where
the-
she escaped from the first
probably-
time.
It's
Well,
also
but-
probably the same reason they want Azrael, her mind.
Well, I mean, she didn't escape from there, but she escaped from the Shadowfell, so it had its eyes on her. And then, you know, when you do these really big things that are kind of known as evil and dark and drastic and change the world in ways like inhabiting the Shadowfell into the Feywild and trying to make goblins into makeup and becoming, you know, a Fey thing yourself. Entities like that, like Mars's patron, like to claim you and take you away. Remember, like Strahd, like who was looking for you, Shiny.
Screw that guy.
I just stare at Laren.
Why are you looking at me, Warden?
No, nothing.
Alanthor clocks that. I don't think the dark wants her yet.
Yet is a very key word.
I haven't done anything aside from doing world's great favors.
And making deals with the devil and
That's a personal life choice. We don't judge that. You also
May
did,
also-
remember?
Yeah, but my deal was different.
Mm-hmm.
Still made a deal with Asmodeus.
So this is what the Rosguard became, making deals with devils, doing other shit.
Unknown, powerful entities. Yep.
No, we don't make deals that often. It was just like 1 or 2 times.
I think I was in the Rasgard for a day before I made a deal, but
They
Warden,
do
you're
that.
not helping.
But I think we should decide on our next course of action. Say,
I kind of want to find out. I can try to find out more information. If the Dark has a presence here, I can try to talk to them. Try to get some more definite, concrete leads.
I kind of want to go check out the graveyard.
I think that's a good. It may not be where he is, but I think that's a good place to look, just in general.
Oh, I was thinking about maybe talking to some of the land there.
I think that's a good idea too.
Marge, you coming with me to the graveyard?
Yeah, sure.
I love how you switch your character profile.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm keeping track of it.
And Lanthor, where are you going to go, Lanthor?
I don't know.
Oh wait,
Oh,
but
Mars,
Mars.
are you gonna be your horse?
Oh, Lanther has to go talk to his new friend so that we can find out information about when the tower might have disappeared.
Okay, so let's go, Mars.
Yep, cool. Coming.
Good luck, Alanthor.
Yeah, Lanther, let's go.
Yep.
So what are you doing?
I guess we're splitting the party, Matt.
Okay.
The husbands are going to go to the graveyard, and Shiny's going to try to commune with nature over there.
I'm going with them.
Okay, so Mars, Warden, and Shiny are going to the graveyard.
Mhm.
Okay. And the other two?
Now Limia is going to go with Alanthor to try to see if they can learn the information more about this tower on finding a date, or at least sometime close to that.
Yep.
And Laren's going to find someone to terrorize.
Laren is going to follow Naomi and then Lanthor.
Like I said.
Oh my.
Okay. And so where's Lanthor thinking that they're going to try to find this information?
Lumia just said, try asking the confessor again. Try to get information from her.
Oh, talking to her again? Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. Excuse me. So, in that case, we'll go ahead and take our break, and then we'll come back to those two things. Alrighty. Let me come back. So with that, let's start. We've got Lethorne, Lumia, and Laren. You wanted to go to the area of the candles, right?
The candles?
Or where is 'cause you're trying to find the
The cemetery?
So Lanthor, Nalumi, and Laren, we're going to go find the confessor to ask some more questions.
confessor. That's right. Okay,
Yes.
sorry, I got confused. There we go. Very good. So you find the individual here. Currently, as you go down and make your request known, you're told to just politely wait a little bit, as there is a you see there is a booth in the corner of this place, and off of one there is this screaming, and then blue fire emerges from the top of this booth. It seems to be made of silver and wood. They were silver. The fire begins to churn in the center of this space, in this circle of runes and spell work, and then form into what appears to be this body kind of vaguely resembling a dwarf with the hole in their chest with the blue flame. And coming out, you see Astilius, as well as another individual. This one, they bear a symbol, this pink rune, as they nod to Astilius. They look tired and gaze at the creature, kind of put their head down and quickly exit the tower. Stilius herself just a little exhausted, and now she can. A little slower, comes over to all of you. Ah. Do you need help with something?
We just had a few questions regarding Zadash and the rest of the Deadlands.
Certainly.
Since I don't bother keeping track of time, how long have the Deadlands been around?
Oh. By our count, well, it's all It's all hard to fully understand that from the records that we were able to find. Um, but maybe a few hundred years.
Right. Then,
At least from what we can say in here, we certainly just had this idea. Yeah, a few hundred years.
I'm gonna say over in the group chat real quick. Does that make sense to you?
No. From what we know, it's been less than a decade.
Indeed.
And then my studious friend companion here, the one who wished access to your library, brought up question where. What was the question again?
When exactly was it when the tower disappeared?
When did the tower disappear? The fifth tower.
Okay. So this is Ilanther, Nylumia, and Laren, right? Because I had Mars, Warden, and Shiny going to the graveyard.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And then so you're asking when did the Deadlands appear? Precise timing?
We got that question of like being on this end like a couple hundred years, and then the next question was when did the tower disappear? Which I believe.
Oh,
That's
oh, you
about-
mean we're not
yeah.
sure that the tower was ever there fully.
I guess my thing is, do they know exactly what date is it when the tower started being hidden, or at least
Yeah.
stopped
So
being
so
it?
wait. So they talk about the hidden tower. Oh, I guess I get what you're asking them as best I can understand.
Because we heard about that day that she mentioned the day they were attacked,
Yes, in the
and that's the day I want to try to find.
Yeah. Okay. Very well. So she begins to. She goes, okay. So when would they? This is all before my time. I'm sorry to say it's. So for our precise timing, our record keeping goes back about 300 years. After that, we've always just called that time before. It was quite some time before our record keeping really starts with the Krendian. And all this was before the Krendian. I'm sorry, I can't be more specific. I mean, unfortunately, the most precise knowledge of that time is you, sir. You're the only one who's truly around. I mean, besides a few of the others, but many of the newly risen's memories aren't as well. They didn't really know what was happening.
In Alanthar's mind, Alanthar, has anybody ever tried to give you back all your memories?
No. No.
When my friend Shinriel or Warden get back, we might discuss that. Because there was a time when I was like you and my memories were long gone, but I believe with my friend's help, they were able to do this.
We can talk about that later. Do you have any other questions for the confessor?
Byron, in your head, do you want to inquire why these beings are made out of whispers?
I thought she explained that to us earlier, but I could ask
I
again.
know, but I mean, I understand she explained it, but it's just a little interesting where she's getting the ideas to do this.
I was trying to ask her if anyone gave her the idea, but she didn't. Oh, well,
Maybe Alanthar could ask for you.
yes, Alanthor, would you be so kind?
Okay. Why are they made of whispers?
Well, I guess if you think about it, all any of us are as we live at one level are secrets. Whispered truths, whispered lies. And to tell you the truth, as I pondered that, it just made more and more sense to me. I would dream about it and realize that if you could truly relieve someone of these things that they hold on to in a permanent way, well, why couldn't you create life? If that's all life really is. I mean, real life, real consciousness. And then there's really just using used material and other things. Borrowing from the Socash. And, well, putting it all together.
You had dreams, you said?
Yes.
Did you dream of anything specific? Or was it...
So it was just, when you work really hard, you just start to, it's like you can't really sleep. You keep working and studying in your mind. It was there that I dreamt of a similar library like this. What we have, where I could peruse tomes. And it was like my thoughts that I were having were better written there. Like my mind needed to rest. I mean, finding the idea of dreams was a thing out of itself. It was something that, from the text of the living, I heard about, and I developed rituals so I could experience dreaming in this strange way of going, and that's what led me to this place where it's like a library of my own mind, I assume, where I could understand my thoughts and my theories better.
Must have been a really helpful way of collecting your thoughts, I believe. And over our group chat, Lauren will say, I think we've been to where she's dreamed of.
Laren, you might want to keep that book out of sight.
Oh, I'm not showing it to anyone here.
Okay. I definitely think she's talking about that library.
Incidentally, if you are interested, you have these questions that I think would be best answered by the Krendian. Or the Melia. Unfortunately.
Well, hold on. Didn't you say the second person after him to rise was, what's his name? Rex the dragon?
Iskajiel.
Can we have an audience with him? I'm really good with dragons.
She kind of pauses. She kind of ponders for a moment. Well, it's possible, I suppose. An offering of innovation, of a grand design or achievement, creation really, is what they require for an audience. The knights that you saw flying above, all of them had to do some type of creation and present it. And the schedule holds and stores these. So if you would have one, then that could be something. Either created, and she kind of gives a sly smile, or stolen. If you're up for it.
I'll think about that.
Indeed. Anyway, because of course, there are many ways to move the levers here. If you are to stay, and well, let's just say that I would be happy to advise, and I'm going to be best to gain reputation here.
How many of these things have you made?
Oh, no worries. I've already given some over to my own audience, but in the thousands, I guess stopped counting.
Laren said, uh-huh. Seems like that's a little convenient, huh? She's made 1,000 of these things.
Guided by an unknown source. Very convenient.
It's very convenient because certain magic users can learn spells that create dreams that you can walk into and manipulate. So, high-level spell magic users who delve in necromancy might know ways to dive into the dead's heads while they sleep and give them secrets to build things for them.
Sounds like someone we know.
Or build their dreams for them, point them in the right direction, or tell them verbatim.
Should we get the whole party together before we have an audience with these other faction?
I think we should, but looking forward to what they find out.
All right. In that case, go over to Mars, Warden, and Shiny. And Threnna wanted to come along to see the graveyard. And excuse me. As you approach, you see this place that's near the candles, actually. What was the Tri-Spire? Is a series of mausoleums and markers that seem covered in strange moss and plant life. Black that has grown up here. And around it is this crisscrossed fence. Very tiny, almost like we think of as chicken wire, but thick and iron. And not only goes high, about 20 feet, but there's also a top, creating this cage over the entire graveyard. It is secured with one door. It seems to have a large lock upon it. It has a slight glow of magic green. Moving around, you see beings that have what we would call kind of the classic signs of undead. They slowly pull themselves on the ground, legs that don't quite work, that they shuffle, going around mindlessly. On the other side, near the gate, there's a single guard in heavy black armor. Power radiates from them. You see that there has been, apart from the gate, a smaller bar put up all around, roughly waist high for most people, with various signs that simply say, in the language here, do not cross.
Do we want to try to convince that guard to open the gate?
What does the sign say before "Do not cross"?
That's all it says.
Oh. Why are these dead? Why are these undead normal undead? Why aren't they?
Yeah.
Mm.
Why aren't they like the rest?
Yeah.
You go up to the guard.
Yeah. Trying to go up to the guard and ask now.
Okay. Looks and again recognizes Elanthor here. Oh, no, Elanthor's not here.
Yeah.
I was confused because of the name. Which one I saw. So anyway, then just looks at you and goes, huh. He goes, oh, new, I see. Goes, new, huh? Well, these are the, well, we call these folk the noble. You see, there was the spread. It said back before folks like us were raised, there were, well, beings like these roamed all around these lands. And, well, in the beginning, they were vicious, and if they got you, you started to lose your sense of self. People rose up and began trying to take care of them. Problem was, as that happened, well, more would come. Like, there's a strange energy. You can see it sometimes. And you get the sense of like this very practiced speech. You can see it sometimes, and, well, those you see today are ones of the first of those who rose, who realized the problem, and that the energy would always come from here to find the hosts. So they volunteered to be caged here. And then the great culling happened, and we went and found all those who had no mind, at least the ones we could find. And they were slaughtered. And these folks you see infected and therefore containing the contagion.
So there's a magical energy. Oh, they were already undead before everybody started coming back, and the magical energy that made them, what did you say? Mindless?
Yeah, vicious, more animalistic.
Whatever energy, whatever magic made them that way was spreading amongst us all.
Yeah, all of us. It was a horrible time.
And so the ones that are in there now were people who volunteered to host that magical energy and then be locked up so it doesn't spread.
That's right. It's a testament to the selflessness of our people.
How do they do that?
Well, initially, we built this first and had them, and they were fine. It was then that we began to go across the land and just, well, it was. We found that they were particularly lured by the living. And that's when one of the great plunges happened where we found some refugees. Well, it said that they were found. And, well, who had, but mind you, committed all types of acts of murder against us. And we used them as some bait. And once we gathered as many as we could, we slaughtered the mindless, and their energy came here, infected the volunteers. Now, mind you, as a thank you to all the refugees that we had used that lived, we sent them on their way out of the Deadlands.
I am kind of confused.
So the refugees that were still living, you used as bait to call the vicious infected here, and then
Well, we didn't have to call them here. We could call them anywhere. We had a field that we did it in, and
Contained them, brought them here.
no, we just slaughtered them. You see, whenever one would go down, the energy always came back here. It would flow out of this place and find a new host. So all we had to do is get the volunteers here, then go hunt the rest down. Then she would come, find the first living host, one of our volunteers, and infect, thus completing our prison.
Oh. What?
Would they attack other undead as well?
Oh yeah, they would go after anybody.
Did you all have any idea why this was happening? Why this magic energy was coming from this place?
Well, those who I remember we served with at the time, some died in this, but some others were volunteers. They talked about, well, time before the violet sky, when things were spreading. And I guess they talked about it was maybe what had to come before all of us. We might be looking at what we would have been before the barrier. Some say it's the barrier that helped us, though some remember days without. As far as what exactly caused it, they just said when all came and it all started, we weren't the only ones. There were many types of creatures and versions of us. These are just one of them.
Or maybe it was the first attempt. Did you know that this is also the graveyard where the father of all was reborn?
Where it goes. I've heard the legends of that, indeed. So it was, well, that was one of the original thoughts, was to destroy this place. But it is in honor of who they were, or that there was, I don't know, people regarded it as, I guess you could say, sacred here.
It doesn't seem incredibly protected, just a fence and one guard.
Wait, nobody's really trying to get in. I mostly watch for just those who don't know any better. It's more people who don't understand how dangerous it is. There's people who, many who are born after this. They don't get that you don't want to get too close to those bars. They bite you. It won't be good.
What if you shot an arrow at one of them from a distance? What happens to that magical energy?
Well, that's the whole thing. That's why they're protected the best we can. If they would go down, that energy would probably leak out. We could have
Okay.
a whole nother issue again.
Yeah, this is just a duh, Steve. This is just a metal barrier, not magic barrier. Well, we came here on a pilgrimage because we also heard the legend of the Father of Alls being interred here at one point. And I have a special way to we just wanted to sit here and at least get as close as we could and maybe just meditate on that legend and what it has to teach us.
You wouldn't be the first. Feel free to stay behind the bar and do what you need.
Sure. Great. Thanks. So he's gonna talk to the psychic link. So my magic doesn't really look undead like, so I have to do this somewhere where he won't see.
We'll just look big. Just kind of block you.
I mean, it's not. I don't think that it matters as long as it's not holy.
But then they'll know that I'm not one of them.
They have plenty of magic casters here.
They have druids here too.
They
But
have a
I don't
whole-
know if their druids use magic like my magic.
Fair.
My magic is kind of like has a lot of life, like it's throbbing with life.
Hmm. Well, we'll try to find a secluded spot.
Maybe we'll just go on the opposite side from where he is.
Yeah, we can just scoot around to the other side.
Oh, actually, I might be able to do something about that.
We could also keep a mausoleum between the two, between where he is and where we go. Keep that as a barrier. Break line of sight.
Well, we can also. So I guess we can spend like an hour here doing this. So I could use some of the shadows in this area, to make a 30-foot sphere that will make it very hard to see us.
Okay. I think that's probably smart because I had some stuff I wanted to try.
Okay. So we're gonna walk to basically the opposite side of the graveyard from where the guard is.
Right.
Is it relatively unoccupied?
Yeah, I mean the guard kind of keeps an eye, but they're you can get a relative shot as long as you're not too close to the bar. You don't think he's going to pay too much attention.
Okay. Shiny will cast Hearth of Moonlight and Shadow. So he'll put his He'll put his finger in the ground and just sort of enchant like some magic words, umbra, 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 and a sphere of shadow pops up. It gives us +5 to stealth and perception checks while inside of it, and light cannot be seen. Light from inside cannot be seen outside.
Okay. That's good.
And then Shiny will sit in the middle, and he will. Well, who you want? You want to go first, Warden, or should I go first?
I think you should go first.
Okay. Shiny will sit in the middle and cast sit crisscross applesauce, and close his eyes, put his palms on the ground, and try to extend his awareness into the ground. And the shimmering green energy kind of breaks through the seeming spell a little bit and goes down his hand and into the ground like tendrils of vines. And he's going to cast Commune with Nature as a ritual.
Okay. Very interesting.
And he will say, spirits of the land, I come here as a guest, looking for answers about your past and the circumstances around the one they call the father of all. And the magic that you got going on.
All right. So, here we go. So you choose from those 5 things in the spell. What are you asking? Got locations of settlements, locations of portals to other planes of existence, locations of 1 challenge rating 10 plus creature, most prevalent kind of plant, mineral, or beast, or locations of bodies of water. You get 3 of those.
I will ask about portals. And guess whether there are any fiends or fae.
Okay. Gotcha. So you feel through the ground. That deep below, there are several portals buried within the ground itself. There's at least one that you can tell is been excavated to. Pathway. The entry of which you know lies within the central mausoleum of this graveyard. And in addition, you would learn of a portal that seems to be a nearby fountain. You can tell it's not necessarily active. You don't sense location of fiends here necessarily, at least within the 3 miles. But you do sense that there is 2 fae both contained in the Tower of the Sealed.
Ooh. What did she say was in the Tower of the Sealed again?
2 fae.
No, sorry. The confessor. What did she say was in the? He's gonna ask. He's asking Mars and Warden through the group chat. Hey, what did the confessor say was in the Tower of the Sealed?
I do not remember. I know there was the druids. There was like the
Oh, there was druids, wasn't it?
The Melia were the druids.
Yeah. Then there was like the law people in one of them.
That was the
And then
Crindian. The
Crindian.
Sealed were the ones that made the stitched, the ones that they
Stitched,
pushed
that's right.
together. Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Well, there are several portals to other planes under the graveyard. The biggest one has a pathway leading to it underground in the mausoleum in the center of the graveyard. And there are also 2 fae in the Tower of the Sealed. So that's interesting. Why there would be 2 fae there.
Yeah, the portal. The portal's what has my attention, though. I mean, it could be undead fae, right?
No, undead or
Undead.
they would be undead.
So 2 living fae.
Yeah.
Hmm. Why would they need fae to make the stitch, though?
May not be related at all.
I don't think they would keep anything living around, though, right? Unless they needed it for something.
They might not, but Azrael might.
True, but I feel like with them that the stitched is their main thing. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it's something completely unrelated.
Well, there's some sort of fae thing that could apply. No, I don't think it could apply, but I've also seen changeling stuff be used elsewhere. Hi, changeling or fae. I'm very fae. I've seen Shine and I have both seen evil pirates use changeling blood to do things. So, if we want to keep your faith theory alive, they could be doing something similar.
Or it could just also be 2 archfey in there that they have prisoned in their
That could also be true.
using them.
There are a lot of, there are archfey that are, I guess, still considered missing after everything that's happened with the Feywild. You know, with the Shadowfell invasion, and Strahd and all his vampire stuff leeching in.
Mm.
Could be a lot of things. For all we know, it could just be coincidence as well.
Could be like a dog that they have.
Yeah, it could be like a blink dog.
Well,
It's not.
we have this field for another 20 minutes, Warden. So if there's something that you wanted to do that you didn't want anybody to notice, now's the time to do it.
Yeah. Matt, you said that the Divine Gate is like weakened here.
Yes.
Could I try to like commune with Cord?
Absolutely. So this would just be through attempt of prayer and such things?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have really anything that lets me do anything special like that.
Yeah, I would say trying to do that, there is a chance it could work. So we'll do a spell casting check.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just flat out do a DC of 22.
So like a spell attack roll?
No, so it would be your charisma. As
Could
a
I do
tally.
religion?
I'll leave with you, yeah. You could do a religion check with your wisdom. Sorry, with your charisma. My bad.
Oh, with my charisma. Okay. So this will have a +5 on top of it, I guess. Ugh. 15.
Okay. Well, were you not proficient in religion?
I am, but religion is intelligence.
Right, I was saying charisma religion. So it would be your proficiency bonus plus charisma. Would be your modifier.
Yes, I rolled a 3 on the dice plus 12.
Okay, that makes sense. I don't know why I thought it was a +5. I think that's why I got a little confused. Okay, cool. So you did add 12 to it.
Yes.
Perfect.
Well, the +5 was it added 7 naturally, and then I have.
Gotcha. Okay, that's what I want to make sure you're adding enough. Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
You got what I was saying. In that case, yeah, you feel definitely the presence. Like there's a connection here where reaching out, you feel though it's almost more heard, but ultimately you're not able to pierce that for certainty.
Okay. Maybe if there was a storm or something, and it's a more holy place I could find, I might be able to get a connection, but I can't seem to get a response from Cord here.
I could make a storm.
I think that would certainly help. Is that like a lot of magic to do that?
Yes. Oh, but I can't do it today. But I could do it tomorrow.
Okay.
I did
Well,
not prepare
maybe-
that. I could do a lightning. I get like, well, I guess I can make a storm cloud. That's very electric.
Are you talking about like control weather for a different day?
Yeah, for a different day. He has control weather, but he also has storm of vengeance.
Might want to read that one.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not like it's like end times of storm, but yeah, but control
What?
weather would probably be the better one to do.
Storm.
Yeah. Just makes acid rain, you know.
Oh my god, no. Yeah, let's just wait. We could wait a day and try again.
Yeah, it over the course of 10 turns, a churning storm cloud forms during the first round. Everybody makes a con save, then acid rain, then 6 bolts of lightning, then hailstone, and gusts and freezing rain assail the area.
Yes. That's a favorite for my gorilla terrorist druids that people have fought.
Relative.
Yep.
They're nasty folks.
I've been waiting for
think-
a reason. Oh, I've been waiting for a reason to use that spell.
We'll find you a reason.
I will say Threnna here does seem to also take this opportunity to look as her eyes burn blue as she looks at everything, and she will inform you. She goes, that power here, it devours souls. It consumes them, it feeds on them, or changes them somehow. You can't totally tell.
Consume souls.
That's neat.
But
The power that's making them go feral?
yes. But it doesn't destroy them though. It more like it's moves it
Steals
or
them?
yeah, something. She goes, I can't from this distance. I'm not sure. But that's what would cause them that feralness, I think. It takes away their sentience, but it seems to channel that somewhere into the mausoleum.
Into the mausoleum and down the portal? Down to the portal, maybe?
Maybe.
Mars, can you roll a insight check?
It's a 21.
Your husband is thinking about Misty stepping through the gate and to get to the portal. He's got that look in his eye.
I recognize the look, and I'm just gonna place my hand on your chest and say, "No, no,
Oh,
no,
what?
shiny, no."
Fine.
That is a no. Because if you get bit, or if you get infected, you can't leave. And I am not fit to be a king.
Wait,
I'm not gonna assume that.
if they bite me, I can get infected? I thought they only infect undead.
I don't want to test that because no living has been here.
It said
Oh.
they're specifically attracted to the living.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Ooh. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, that would have been a bad idea.
Well, I mean, I could get them all out of here, but
Yeah, everybody within 300 miles, I think, right?
300 meters, I think, or feet. But it would kill them and then send it to the next closest thing, which is gonna be
People
outside
out
the
here?
gate.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
And
us
then we
right here.
No, it'll be other undead.
Oh, what if maybe we could get in through the top and fly straight down into the mausoleum. That way we don't have to go through the crowd, the undead.
We would still have to teleport. It's covered. The roof is covered.
Well, it's just wire
True.
or metal.
And do you really want to just the three of us do this?
Oh,
right now?
no! I didn't mean for right
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
I'm just thinking because I'm pretty sure Laren and Nylumia would have some good theories about the portals under the graveyard.
Probably.
I think outside of the tower, this is our best lead for what to do next.
I think so too.
Well, should we say goodbye to the guard and go meet back up with the rest of them?
Or we could just
Leave.
go back to meet up the rest of them.
Well, we have to pass him anyway. So we go on the way back to the tower. Shiny goes, by the way, we didn't get your name.
Give me for a second. Whew. For his name is Captain Selen.
Captain Selen. And spend the next 10 minutes. Tell me all your backstory. No, I'm kidding.
Did you wake up here? Were you raised here?
You from here originally? What's a guy like you doing in a place like this? Then we'll just head back to the tower.
Sounds good. With that, y'all can meet in the tower.
Shinrael, do you have Greater Restoration prepared?
What kind of druid would I be if I... Yes, I do.
Okay, good. We are going to try to restore Lanther's memories.
Oh.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, you said you have never had anyone try, so...
Yeah, and I kind of don't know if I want to.
No, it's fine. You'll love it.
Through the telelink, Warden and Laren, you hear the last time we did this, we opened a portal into another dimension, and mind flayers came through. It is also one of Aiden's characters too.
Yeah, we opened it. They opened it specifically into my brain. Hi. I extend my hand to Warden. I'm weirder.
And a very similar thing is just going to happen this time, but with Asriel.
What?
Yeah, hey, we fought an alternate reality me that was also a mind flayer. And it was trying to consume my brain to then consume reality and turn this reality into another conquered reality. So we stomped him. Like,
but on
into
the
the
plus
ground.
side, not likely when we do this now, not likely anything's going to want to eat your brain.
I mean, look at the guy. What?
Well, I didn't say impossible. I just said not likely.
I can cast Death Ward on you if you're that afraid.
I'm not afraid of death. I just don't really think that I want those memories. So that's not who I am.
But it will help us with our quest. If not, we'll have to go deal with those people.
I really don't think it would help with your quest at all because the memories that you're thinking of are from who I was before I died the first time, before the Deadlands, long before the Deadlands started.
Okay, well, what'd you guys learn?
There's some Fae in the sealed tower.
And they have a bunch of they're called the nobles, a bunch of undead who are like the zombified kind of undead that are caged in the graveyard right now. But the most exciting thing is under the graveyard, under the mausoleum in the center, there's portals all under the graveyard, but the biggest one is under the center mausoleum. And Threna said she felt like the energy was being funneled into that portal. Well, no, so she felt like the energy was being shifted and moved around, and I was like, well, maybe it's being sent into the portal.
That's interesting.
Yeah, the undead are like a bioweapon that if one dies, it consumes the soul of a new one nearby the portal, sends it somewhere. And they become new feral undead.
So we were thinking of tomorrow trying to go check out that portal, see what it is. But also going to the tower to see what's up, what those two Fae energies are in the Tower of the Sealed.
I'm wondering if those two Fae things happen to be the children of Azrael and the Cray.
Oh.
Because if she was Fae when they had them, then their essence might still linger as a Fae.
True. Or if she was this evil person who was helping the Shadowfell invade, maybe she like captured some archfey and have them holding them prisoner.
Well, it sounds like we have 3 different ideas now. So how should we narrow these down? What should we start with and where do we want to do?
Wait, what's the third idea?
Still looking for the tower that disappeared. Because that is technically Azrael's home, where we need to get into. The whole reason we came here. But as Garth does, we come up with other things.
Well, Jesus, where did it go? Location, body, settlements. No, okay. So I mean, a tower wouldn't count as a settlement, would it?
No.
Unless you're talking about Ballarat now.
You mean for commune?
Yeah.
Not really, no. The settlements would be Zadash.
What do you think, Laren? What should we start with?
You there, Laren?
Sorry, I was muted. I was talking.
Okay.
But so I think we should gather as much information as possible before we go to Azrael himself, right? And seeking out the tower would essentially be showing up at his doorstep.
True.
And I have the sneaking suspicion that this graveyard might be another important link in his whatever his machinations are here in Zadash, so maybe we should seek that out.
There was also an inactive portal and a fountain nearby.
Interesting.
Could be like an opening to the tower, maybe?
Huh! I was thinking an opening to the Feywild, but that actually would make sense also.
How far is the graveyard from the candle district, candle place?
It's almost right in it, actually.
Oh, I think that is where the tower is then. I don't know.
I could talk to the dog. Get a definite yes or no.
Yes, talk to your creepy bubbles.
Okay. Lanthor's just gonna like sit in one of the chairs around the room, and his eyes are just gonna go black, and his scar is gonna start glowing. I'm gonna use Contact Patron to use Contact Other Plane, and I automatically succeed the save.
Very nice. Okay. So you feel the voices. Ask.
Is Azrael's tower beneath the graveyard in Zadash?
No.
Is Azrael's tower within the Tri-Spire?
Only a doorway.
That answers two questions.
Ask about the kids.
What about the kids?
Are they the two big kids in the tower?
Are the two Fae in the tower connected to what Azrael has going on here?
Yes.
Ask it if there's any food nearby. I'm really hungry.
Does Azrael intend to release the noble undead and what infects them as part of his plan?
Unclear. And one more.
Did you ask where that portal goes?
Not now, Saya. I'll be out in a minute.
Imagine that coming through Contact of the Plane.
Yeah.
Filter to see.
I want to be. I just
What you talking about? Every plane has an exhausted mom on it.
Is Lucre suffering right now?
What's the problem, Saya? Your door is locked? Where's the thing to open it?
Yes.
That's 5.
Now it's unlocked.
Hmm.
I'll be out in a little bit.
So Elanthar's
Oh.
eyes will revert.
And finally go, we believe in you, Alantor. They fade.
Elanthar's eyes return. His tower isn't beneath the graveyard. A door to his tower is within the Tri-Spires.
Does it hurt when you do that?
Do what?
Talk to your patron.
No.
Your eyes kind of. Never mind.
Is the fountain in the Tri-Spire?
Yes.
There's the fountain in the Tri-Spire.
What was the first question you asked again about the tower?
I asked if the tower was beneath the graveyard. It's not. There's a door to the tower in
Seems
the
like the
Tri-Spires.
Okay, so it seems like the fountain is the most, well, potentially
Best lead.
the best lead for getting into his tower. So do we want to go check out the Fae thing first, and then the graveyard, and then the tower? Or should we do the graveyard, the Fae tower?
What would we get from finding his children?
Well, we don't know that there's children, but we know they're part of his plan.
We know that all of the towers are his plan now. What's special about... Oh, I suppose you would want to find your kin and see if they're friends.
Well, they also might have information.
I think if the tower leads to us doing a prison break, that should not be first.
No.
So what if we do the graveyard and then check out the Fae and then Azrael's tower?
Yeah, sure. But speaking of prison breaks, we need to be very careful not to release all of the undead into the city. Well, all of the feral undead.
What do you mean? Like,
Well, we have to get in there. If we can get in, we don't want them to get out.
And I
so
do
did you
not...
exactly see where the portal was?
Nope. It was under the mausoleum, excavated far down.
How far? Did you find out that?
No.
Oh. Do you know how many of these undead are between us and that portal?
Like 4 or 5?
I thought there was a lot.
Thank you, Warden, for your
And
honesty.
And I don't think we should kill any of them. I do not want to be the first undead in their vicinity when they die.
Neither do I.
Well, don't kill them then.
Right, so
Huh.
what I was suggesting was that we maybe fly up to the top, because the mausoleum's right in the center. Right in the center. We fly up to the top, cut a hole through the fence, and then drop right down.
You do
I
know
don't-
how mausoleums work, right?
No, we don't have them in the Feywild.
Like, they could be giant, multiple layers of basements. Like that time we went in Roshana in their prison.
Oh, you don't think there's undead in the mausoleum, do you?
I feel
No.
like there are.
If it's
Well-
sealed, probably not. Like, even if there's just a door to it, they're probably not past that door.
This whole time I've been assuming that the undeads were locked inside the mausoleums. But
No, there's a gate around a mausoleum.
But
with the
I think she means like the undead that were originally placed in the mausoleum. What
Yeah,
if they
the-
woke up?
Yeah, those infected ones, I thought they were kept inside, and if we enter, we might wake them up.
they're. What do you mean by wake them up?
Wake them up, like if they were. I don't know if they were already awake, but we're sure to disturb them in some way, shape, or form.
They were not in the mausoleum. They had to put them in that cage. They
But they might be in the mausoleum. The
Yeah.
mausoleum is within the cage.
yeah.
But they're not necessarily in there.
Because
Well,
all
I
of the
mean-
ones, or most
Are
of
you-
the ones, are they killed a bunch of them and they sacrificed some people to trap in there.
Well, I could get us through the mausoleum. I have magic to make holes in places. If we really want to try this.
Was there ways to take further looks, even if we do get there? We don't have to charge right in. We could do things like magical means of seeing and hearing.
True.
Well, should we check it out right now then, at least?
I'm good. I can go right now.
Works for me.
Lead the way, Shiny.
He'll lead them, everybody back to the graveyard.
Melanthor pulls his hood up and his face goes behind shadow and his eyes just become red
Let's
dots.
see. Trying to. Where's this thing?
Trying to be edgy, but he's not.
Trying to hide his identity.
All right.
Look, you have your version, I have mine.
So you move through the streets here, and as you do, you move through what once was the Penta Market here, and even now there's street betting forms of entertainment that people, in fact, are watching. Some are making bets at various things. And you see children. Dead as well, laughing, playing, pushing each other. Far from the official people that you've seen so far, there's this slice of life of just almost like it could be anywhere else if it weren't for the rotting flesh and the occasional jaw falling off.
Make it sound so romantic.
But moving past them, you do come back to the iron gate with the guard. Still same person. You see the wandering folk. Now you see what looks like to be a group of kids led by an adult in the far corner, and you can hear them giving much the same lecture as the guard did about the brave ones who sacrifice themselves and how they are to be the noble. And said, must all remember, we all will be called upon at some time to do what we need. You must be ready. We all sacrifice for something greater, our future, as those did once for us. See the kids kind of nodding. What would you like to do?
Well, those of us that can't fly, Should get on something that can fly and go up to the top.
You're sure that they're okay with us like doing this, right?
Absolutely not.
Remember, there is a top to this cage.
Now, is this a magical topping to this cage? Like, what's Nalumia finally saying now that we're here?
Yeah. Give me an Arcana check.
Okay. That's a 36.
Very nice. Kind of about the cage itself. There what you able to detect are series of alarm spells, basically, permanently in here, so that anyone would know if anyone passes through. But other than that, the iron has been treated, making it resistant to some spell effects, but not necessarily immune.
What's this cage like? Is it how close are the bars now? Like, what kind of cage are we looking at? Like a mesh type cage, or like
It's almost like it's iron mesh.
okay.
Incidentally, since you're really looking at it, is in fact cold iron mesh.
Well, it makes sense why they're undead, but also means it's gonna be harder for Laren to get in there.
Do you know if the alarm would activate if we teleported in?
Yes, most likely.
Shiny is immediately taking notes about what she said about Laren and imagining armor made out of this stuff.
But
Sorry, go ahead.
If we were to make a hole, they could climb right out. Like, you guys realize that, right? Like, it's a cage. It might
So with
hurt
your
them.
36, Naomi, you actually think teleporting would work just fine?
No one, it wouldn't alert the guards though.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I mean, as long as you
And
don't
that
turn into
does
gas.
strike you as a little interesting.
Teleporting in isn't a problem.
So they set the alarms. That's the. See, I don't like that. Because if Azrael has set this whole thing up, he would know the exact place to teleport. And he wouldn't tell anybody else that.
And he's
nobody
got
else would be...
guard dogs protecting that area, basically.
Yes, very feral guard dogs. That can
My
turn.
emphasis was on teleporting in. Out is another problem. Maybe. But I don't know.
I mean, okay. Well, do we really want to do this? Can we see the top of the mausoleum?
Can I? Okay, I have so many questions. One I forgot to ask earlier. What does cold iron have to do with undead?
Nothing.
It has something to do with Fae, right? I
Yes.
was not hallucinating. Okay.
Correct. Yeah, I don't know where that went to undead from, but
Cold iron hurts. Hey.
And can I do an arcane eye? Do you think that would be possible to get through and see actually what's on the inside, or is it?
yeah, I mean, you could certainly do that. I think like anything, you probably want to take some precautions, but
Yeah, probably finding a more secluded spot and tell people that I'm going to take a peek, and I will cast that.
okay. Oh, sorry. Let me just get the specifics of the spell. All right, so we've got invisible and vulnerable eye within range. Okay, so you can definitely cast it. so that it appears in, because the openings are a little bit smaller than 1 inch, but you can definitely get it so it appears on the inside of the cage.
Yeah, then she'll try to have it move through and see what's inside.
Okay. Go ahead and give a perception check through.
14.
All right. So the mausoleum itself is about 100 feet in. And as you move your eye through, you can see that the doors here do seem like they're supposed to be shut, but they've kind of fallen a little bit off hinges. Enough of an opening for the eye to go through. You think that other creatures could potentially squeeze through, but only one at a time.
So very weird. Okay. She'll move the eye through.
And for these purposes, it would actually be kind of one creature could kind of get themselves through and around.
Build a prison and leave just a little crack for people to get.
Indeed. In here, as you look around, you see what used to hold many corpses have all been busted, like little areas have been busted out from the inside. You think long ago. And there's heavy scratches in the floor where a center sarcophagus looks like it's been moved back and forth many, many, many times. As well as the absence of dust on now the only intact marker on one of the walls in the shape of a hand. There's even almost slight indentation in the marble where this has been pressed over and over.
She would be relaying all of this through our bond, but there's nowhere else to go, right? Because it requires some sort of manipulation to actually open the. I'm assuming a passage.
One more perception check.
Okay. She is practically blind. Let's see, 12.
12. Eye flies around. You see this obvious entrance, but nothing else. Let's be here. I think other than you can see evidence of someone of some dust being unsettled by footprints, but from what you can tell, it seems only in one spot in here over the course of many years. And not from the door. At least not recently. All right, I think that's about it.
describing all this, and for someone with Azrael's level of intelligence, this is set up so perfectly. Like something in a children's book.
So how are we gonna get over there? Are we going to dimension doors, or are we going to? Because you said it's 100 feet from where we are.
Cage. From the cage to the mountain, yeah? I mean, we could teleport through the cage and then squeeze through the door.
Yeah, and they're shambling undead like all over. So
That's what I mean. So what's your guys' farthest teleport?
I can do 60 feet
'Cause
Yeah,
it's
without
100
using
feet.
spells.
'Cause
Both
when it's
Elanther and
100
Mars say 30.
Okay, if it's 100 feet, that means there's chance of encountering the undead.
Like you said, we can also go from the top, though.
We could also, if the lighting isn't too weird, we could also, some of us could be invisible and go.
No, I mean he's right. We could technically just all fly up top above the cage, teleport Misty Step into it that way, because I'm guessing they're not in the air above, right? There's a
Are
gap.
there any flying undead? in
Yeah.
there's no undead flying. No.
Yeah, so I guess Warden, you're correct. We could do that, and it would work.
Yeah.
I could
Uh,
also
I would
cast...
say, sorry, with your 36 from before, and we were talking about the cold iron, I thought you'd get more into that. You're very confident none of Shinriel's magic it would take them through this.
Oh, so that means Warden's magic wouldn't work either, because his is Fey.
Right.
Face stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
face steps
alright.
very specifically can't work.
So, who all was planning on using that Misty Step and Fey magic?
I was.
Same.
Mars is his hand.
Let me just like baseball. Miss Strenna, I know you love your clerical magic. Did the Raven Queen provide you with the spell Dimension Door today?
Oh, wait, hold a second. Matt, the thing I was going to use, Hidden Paths, that's a druid feature, not a fey feature.
So, because of the way we have decided you have your power,
Got it. Makes sense. Yep.
right? You are pure. You are
Got
an
it.
archfacer.
Okay. No. Totally makes sense. Makes sense.
Cool.
Makes sense.
So, like, any of his spells wouldn't work?
Yeah, specifically with shiny because he gets other benefits and some things that through the story we've told. Is why.
But once I'm
Like, if you-
inside, they might work, right?
Yeah, you don't get a sense that it would inhibit magic inside.
I just can't get through the iron.
Yeah.
So, like, if he had cast Windwalk, we couldn't get through it.
That's a good question. I think, yeah, I'd say no, actually, very specifically. Due
Okay.
to,
I could send you through. I mean,
due to Azrael's paranoia.
Well, we
Very
can.
specific thing he set up here.
Does Strenna happen to have Dimension Door from Miss Raven Queen today? Because if she does, that solves everything.
Yep. So I'm just trying not to die and checking.
I mean, if we could take like an hour, I could attune to my timepiece and teleport us. Because it's not Fey, it's from the item. I could try to get us in there with a teleport.
And I can't do anything about teleporting, but I could, once we're in there, I could conjure a giant vine on the other side, and maybe that would distract them.
So, I believe Miss Laren has Dimension Door probably prepared. I have it prepared. I can gift one of you it. That allows 6 people. If Threna has it prepared, she can take herself. And
Threnna does actually. So then goes, yeah, I have it
bless the Raven Queen.
prepared.
Bless the Raven Queen.
I don't like the
Granting
way
you
she
that
said
magic.
prepared.
I think I'm starting to like the Raven Queen. Very handy.
She's very handy, right? She gives out these perfect spells you need that day. So I will hand whoever needs a dimension door, I guess. So
That's still a slot for you, right? I could just vortex warp one of the persons there. It's like, I don't know, less resources. But
And
Anyone have scatter?
if I need to, I can switch places with Warden.
oh, you're very divine sacrificial magic.
Yes.
oh. If I can just vortex warp people, and Lemia just like face palms herself and then starts literally, because she has this as spell mastery, just starts vortex warping everybody 90 feet into there. Like right at almost there. Oh my god, I face palm heavy.
Because you have Spellmaster Vortex Warp.
Yes.
That's amazing.
It's literally like second level spell mastery. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so then Lumia's like all getting all ready to do this. And then she goes, Larry mentions that spell, and I go, dur. I always have that. And then she just literally sends all of us through.
All right. That'd be one at a time, right?
Yeah.
So the idea here is to go onto the roof or go near the door.
I can get 90 feet. That's as far as I can go. So
Okay. So
I'm sending Warden first, because he has Holy Aura that might be able to stop him.
okay.
Don't you? I don't know. I'm hoping
Not
you do.
active.
So,
Well, activate it once you're in there.
Yeah, so ultimately this would, I think, get you in, because it's 90 feet, so you'd be 30 feet away from the mausoleum. And from where if you're going from where you wouldn't be seen, you'd be to the back opposite where the door is. Just so you know the situation. Because what I'm assuming is you're not getting directly towards next to the gate, because that would have get some alarms. So you'd have to be behind the little thing. Because the 100 feet's from the gate, or from the fence. Not from the bar.
If I have 90 feet of movement with face step, would I be able to get into the door and around?
Yeah, it's probably good stuff. So it sounds like what everyone would have to begin to do. And I think this is where we end, and we'll kind of start with this infiltration mission next week. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Perfect.
That works.
You got to prepare the Mission Impossible theme.
All right, with that, we will save her next week.